I just want to pivot a little bit and ask about your background, your experience, extensive experience in white collar criminal defense, and this idea of the gag order. It did take the judge a little while to make a determination. He found, I think it was 9 counts. He violated the gag order 9. Former President Trump violated the gag order 9 times, $1,000 for each violation. There's another hearing, I believe, today on additional violations by Trump of this gag order. In fact,
Right.
well, after this ruling by the judge on Tuesday, the initial ruling on the gag order, the violations, Trump was at a rally and I believe called him a crooked judge. So this is sort of it's a continuing pattern that's gone on for a long time, including, I believe today, even he might have said something about E. Jean Carroll. He'd already been found in violation and defamed her. Is there any way to control this situation in a criminal court by President Trump specifically, former President Trump specifically, and then B, what happens normally when these sorts of violations take place?
Those are both excellent questions, Leanne. I'll take them in reverse order. There's nothing normal about this situation. Normally, when a defendant violates conditions of release, let alone a gag order, they're a step back. They're held in jail until the trial is concluded. It is not normal for serial violations of court orders, judges' orders to occur with no consequences. I've had plenty of cases when I was a prosecutor where defendants were released on bond and were stepped back either pre or during trial because they violated judges' orders. So the fact that Trump has gotten away with this level of intransigence to date is without any precedent that I'm aware of. In terms of what to do, it's a really, really hard issue. Before Judge Merchan, Judge Kaplan struggled with it, Judge Engoron struggled with it. And Trump sort of perceives in a feral, intuitive way that judges can't control them. He is the Republican nominee. He is a former president, and he knows he's not really, there's no chance he's going to get stepped back and held in jail. And he knows that even if that were to happen, it would play to his benefit. He would then be a martyr. He would be hugely sympathetic. He'd be able to fundraise, even more than he has off of his mugshot, things like that. So I believe Judge Kaplan even made reference to that would be the best thing to happen to Trump. So in some ways, Judge Merchan would be playing in his hands by remanding him into custody. So what can they do? They can fine him and little else, unfortunately. It's a hole in our system. He should not be allowed to get away with violating judicial orders, and he's trying to thread the needle right now on attacking the judge and sort of people not named in the 4 corners of the gag order. But he continues to get away with it, and he continues to make a mockery of the judge's orders, and it's really unfortunate.
Yeah, it was interesting. I believe his attorneys were asking the judge if he could preview what Trump might want to say next. And the judge is like, you should advise your client to really just stay away from doing this. But again, there's no way for the attorneys have proven unable to sort of control his behavior, and they raise constitutional issues, First Amendment. But as you mentioned, it's easy for him to get away for things because of who he is, compared to regular defendants in these situations.
Yeah, and because he in some ways, hard to imagine he'd really love being in jail. I mean, nobody that I know of who spent time there loves that, but I think he loves the idea of being a martyr and raising money off that. That's something that he understands would play very well with his committed followers, and the judges know that too. And so there's this sort of game of chicken going on there.
Yeah, it's a fine line as to how to deal with this, and it's all been fascinating viewing as well. So I really appreciate you giving your analysis, your very informed and astute analysis of what's going on in this case, and for joining me this afternoon.